Hey, what's going on, guys? We're giving Liv a break again today, so that means you're stuck with me for the RPG corner yet again. And I've been playing through arguably the hardest RPG ever made, bar none, and that is the Seventh Saga. And I'm here to talk about it today and why, if you're a glutton for punishment, you should check this game out. So, back in the day, on the Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo, Japanese developers, they simplified games for us as Americans. They made it to where our experience was not the same. So what happens when you reverse that? You get Seventh Saga. And whoo boy, not only did we retain Japanese difficulty, they amped it up to an 11. I'm talking about for every 10 or so levels of your character, your opposing, we'll call him rival, I'm not going to spoil too much, even though it is a ridiculously old game, is 10 levels above you. It is ridiculous. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I was actually having a conversation with some friends about difficult games and why we enjoy them or don't like them. And all I could think of was the most difficult game I've personally ever played, and that's Seventh Saga. It had a couple cool little revolutionary things back in the day. For example, as you're on the overworld map, you have a radar so you can kind of see where enemies are coming, also in full display in dungeons. And the story was just convoluted as crap, collecting 7 runes, timey, travel-y nonsense. It's a lot. We're not going to get into that. We're going to get into why this punishing RPG is for everyone. Nowadays, everybody wants a challenge with their video games, be it Dark Souls, be it hard mode, hell mode, be it the impossible boss. You get all of that in spades with Seventh Saga, as the game does not hold your hand out the gate. From level 1 to level 50 and on, you're challenged like no other. I legitimately died in the first dungeon, not even my first playthrough, my every playthrough, almost 15 times to 30 times a dungeon. It's rough. And that's what makes it fun. And I know that sounds really weird because a lot of us nowadays, we don't want it to be too challenging. We want a little challenge. And that's why it kind of sparked my want to talk about it. You get to choose one of 7 characters at the start. You'll get to partner with the others along the way. You're going to get to fight the others along the way too, as you're all sent out by the king to recover the 7 runes, save the world, blah, blah, blah. They do it very well. And for a game as old as this was, and it came from Enix prior to Square Enix, so had a lot of oomph behind it. You need to try this. And I'm talking to all of you who enjoy challenges. You want to platinum games. You want to play the hardest game out there. You can't play a game unless it's on the most extreme difficulty, otherwise you're not playing the game. I am quoting my brother, ladies and gentlemen. Unless it's hard hell or whatever the hardest mode is, he won't touch the game. Boggles my mind, but hey, if the shoe fits, you play what you want. Seventh Saga dumps modern gaming on its head because honestly, it's more punishing than Dark Souls games. And we did that to ourselves. We legitimately amped up the Japanese difficulty back in the day, and this was kind of the product. And you can kind of draw the correlation that because seeing this, games kind of similarly matched. We didn't get too easy, too hard. We learned our lesson, folks. And it's such a weird piece of gaming history because it goes against the norm. The biggest culprit, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. The Japanese people, their developers, legitimately thought we couldn't handle a challenge, so they dumbed down what would have been a brand new Final Fantasy entry for us. If you play it, it's a fun little game, but it's missing that heart and soul of a lot of Final Fantasy games, and it's honestly just like a cheeky whatever game nowadays. You look at moments like Seventh Saga, and it kind of makes you appreciate where gaming has come from and where it's going. And if you want the ultimate challenge, you're going to go and play this. If you have a Super Nintendo Classic, you can, hack it a little bit. Not saying, hey, you do you. And give it a shot. You can, if you want physical copies, The game is next to nothing because nobody wants to come back and punish themselves for it. It's such a good time, and it'll challenge you as a gamer, and it'll make you a better gamer. Or you're going to test your patience and maybe break a controller or two. You never know. This game, for what it was, awesome. I first played the game when way past when it came out. My first experience was when I was 12, and I almost quit gaming. I could not get past. So it opens up. You pick your hero, you start your quest, fight some monsters, get a little bit stronger, save some gold, get some equipment for the first dungeon. I couldn't get past the first dungeon the first 3 or 4 times I played the game. I had to keep putting it down. It was only recently when a buddy of mine loaded up my Super Nintendo Classic with a metric infinite amount of Super Nintendo games. Big shout out, John. That I came back to it. And I've been really enjoying it. And it's kind of been my go-to lately when I can't decide what to play because, as you know, my backlog is endless. And that's my call to action for you guys today. I'm not going to say, well, hey, I am actually, like, share, subscribe for more RPG Corner and Top 10ers content. My challenge is actually go try 7th Saga. I want to know what your thoughts are. Is this game completely off the walls, never should have been created? Is it too hard? Is it a product of its time? Is it a relic that needs to be left in the past? I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know what your experiences with this game are, and if it kind of made you appreciate Dark Souls and other challenging games. But hey, what do I know? I'm just an old super hardcore retro gamer, So thank you so much for this kind of weird, kind of out there RPG Corner episode. It's not often I get to talk about the 7th Saga. It's not often anybody talks about 7th Saga. That game is horrendously difficult. But if it has piqued your interest and you're looking for a challenge, that's my challenge to you. And let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thank you all so much for listening to our videos. Liv will be back again. I got to sneak this little episode in here, so thank you guys if you are listening. And if not, hey, please listen. Please like, share, and subscribe like I said. We keep pushing content out every Friday, and we want to know what you think about what we're talking about. So let us know in the comments if I am crazy for recommending 7th Saga.